I am going to show you one of my favorite things to do. It's cost saving, it's healthy, and it's something everybody should learn how to do. I'm going to show you how to make white stock. Now the recipe that I'm going to talk about today is actually a white chicken stock, but there's lots of variations to the recipe so you can have a lot of fun. The next time you buy a whole chicken, break it down, use the meat, take the backbones, throw them in the freezer, and when you have a lot of backbones, you don't need as many as this, probably about 2 or 3. When I make stock, I make a lot of stock. But take the bones, roast them off in an oven, and what you're going to do is you're going to add another layer of depth into the flavor. So you can roast the bones and put into a pot, but actually what I did that I have in the pot right now is I just have a chicken carcass and about, I'd say maybe a gallon of water, and I'm slowly bringing it to the boil. And what happens is that collagen that's in those bones, and let me show you, this is a veal bone actually. In this cross cut right here in the bone, that's collagen. That's what we're all trying to find, but that's what gives the stock body and depth. So you really want to pull that collagen out. So start with cold water, bring it to a simmer, and then what will happen is impurities and fat will come up to the top, and you just skim those off. And then we're going to add a classic mirepoix, which is carrots, celery, and onions. You might see in some white stock recipes that people suggest not using carrots. I like carrots, especially during the cold months in my stock, because it gives the stock a little bit more color and it gives it a little bit more flavor. And if you think about the dishes that you're cooking with the stock in the winter months are much more hearty dishes, so they can take the carrots. Summer months, if you're going to make some stocks for some very light soups, maybe omit the carrots. Stock is very forgiving as long as you just kind of adhere to the techniques. So water is now, we've taken it to a boil, going to reduce it to a simmer, and we're going to add all of our vegetables that are going to just give it some great flavor. Carrots, celery, and onions. So just to review some tips, bring it to a boil, skim it, reduce it to a simmer, add your vegetables, and then we're going to add some aromatics and parsley stems, peppercorn, bay leaf, and you can just tie it up in a coffee filter and you can throw it right in the pot. If you don't drink coffee and you don't have a coffee filter at home, you can always just throw these in, because we're going to let this cook for about 3 hours. If you have time, let it cook 4. The longer you let it cook, the more reduction is going to happen, and you're going to have a much more flavorful stock. So for storage, a lot of us don't have room in our freezers for this. Once we strain it, you can always reduce it down even more, and what I like to do sometimes is reduce it and put it into ice cube trays and freeze it into the ice cube trays. So one little ice cube is about a pint of stock, so then you just rehydrate it with some water. So it's very easy to do, a lot of fun, and much more economical than buying the purchased stocks. For a stock like this, you're looking at about 1/3 the price than the commercial product, but the biggest thing is no salt. So that's what I like, and I think that you can control the flavor. So I hope you have a lot of fun with this, and it's a white chicken stock.